We all know the classic opening scene. The hero wakes up in a hospital, wanders outside, and finds a totally deserted, perfectly quiet city. It is a brilliant piece of filmmaking that makes you feel the sheer weight of isolation. It also makes us think we know exactly how we would handle the end of the world. We are actually quite obsessed with the logistics of this scenario. Videos analyzing apocalypse fortification strategies and water filtration techniques pull in millions of views online, far outpacing the viewership for the monsters themselves. People want to study the mechanics of outlasting a total societal reset. There is a serious problem with using edge-of-your-seat entertainment as a baseline for preparation. The exact decisions that create great television are almost guaranteed to get you killed in a real collapse. Clinging to cinematic logic traps survivors in situations where their Hollywood instincts violently clash with actual physics and human psychology. We fall into predictable, deadly patterns, where the things we think will save us do the exact opposite. Outlasting a disaster means trading the lone survivor fantasy for the tedious, unglamorous logistics actually recommended by disaster sociologists and emergency responders. The first trap usually happens within hours of a crisis. It is the belief that at the first sign of trouble, you should grab a heavy, pre-packed 72-hour kit and immediately escape into the woods. Fleeing your neighborhood without a specific, secure destination does not make you an apex predator. It turns you into an ill-equipped refugee. You are instantly exposed to freezing temperatures, physical exhaustion, and gridlocked roads full of panicked people. This survival report outlines why the consensus among experts points in the exact opposite direction. Sheltering in place consistently yields better outcomes than wandering. The structure you already live in provides physical protection, crucial insulation from the elements, and the space to securely store large quantities of water and food. You should only abandon those massive advantages if your home is facing an immediate physical threat. That means an approaching wildfire, a chemical spill, rising floodwaters, or a mandatory government evacuation order. If you do hit one of those triggers, survival relies on an actual strategy, not the amount of gear stuffed into a bag. It requires heading to a prearranged, secure destination with family or friends, and knowing 3 different alternate routes to get there, when the main highways inevitably choke with traffic. Chasing the bug-out fantasy means willingly giving up your most defensible asset for a high-risk gamble against nature. If a survivor makes it out of the city, they usually make a second fatal error. We see it all the time on screen, climbing to a rooftop to light a massive distress signal, or building a huge, roaring campfire in the woods for comfort. A distress beacon does not selectively attract friendly rescue crews. It often leads desperate survivors straight into a false hope fortress. When the grid fails, heavily armed factions rarely focus on restoring a democratic society. Surrendering your autonomy to an isolated group that controls all the food usually results in subjugation rather than salvation. Even if you avoid malicious groups, a basic campfire broadcasts your location for miles due to atmospheric physics. On calm, clear nights, a meteorological effect called a temperature inversion often occurs. A layer of cool air near the ground gets trapped by a warmer air mass sitting right above it. This creates an invisible atmospheric lid over the landscape. Instead of dispersing upward into the night sky, the light from a flame, the smell of wood smoke, and the acoustic waves from a normal conversation hit that warm layer and bend horizontally back down to the earth. To stay hidden in a silent world, you have to practice extreme noise and light discipline. That means digging below-ground Dakota fire pits to hide the glow, using heavy curtains on your windows, and strictly scheduling any loud tasks, like chopping wood or opening cans, for the daytime, when ambient natural noise can mask the sound. The psychological comfort of a warm fire is a literal dinner bell that attracts hungry, desperate people to your exact coordinates. That desperation leads right into the third major trap. The cinematic hero casually strolls into an untouched, perfectly preserved grocery store weeks into an outbreak. The reality is that the moment a supply chain breaks, panic buying strips retail spaces to the bone within hours, turning those aisles into high-risk, violent battlegrounds. Focusing on hoarding canned goods from hostile areas misunderstands how human biology actually fails in an emergency. Long before starvation becomes a serious factor, exposure to the elements and severe dehydration will shut your organs down in a matter of days. Pragmatic survival requires managing those immediate physiological threats first. It means prioritizing thermal insulation, securing a steady flow of filtered water, and maintaining basic first aid to prevent minor cuts from turning into lethal infections. This approach aligns directly with the 10 Essentials framework developed by groups like the National Park Service. They prioritize items like water filtration systems, navigation tools, and sun protection, entirely ignoring the heavy tactical weaponry you see in the movies. The lone wanderer aesthetic falls apart quickly because it ignores the exhausting, tedious daily labor required to simply keep a human body functioning safely. Enduring a systemic collapse eventually requires shifting away from temporary hiding to build what experts call a Level 7 sanctuary. This is a highly defensible, zero-profile location where a socially cohesive community accepts that the old systems are gone and commits entirely to permanent self-reliance. Getting to that point requires proactive work right now. It means building a 2-week emergency supply kit at home and taking the time to forge strong social networks in your neighborhood well before the municipal water pressure drops and the power grid goes dark. Because when legal safety nets vanish, the initial catalyst of the crisis is rarely the main threat. The enduring danger will always be human exploitation. So if the rules ever do disappear, ignore the Hollywood playbook. Don't run for the woods, and don't light a beacon. Stay put, stay completely quiet, and let the boring basics keep you alive.
Yeah!